Hi, this is Vince here with the Morning Grojo, and there's just two things I want to show you about the pond. Now, if we aim to go in nice and neatly there, unfortunately the reflections are spoiling this a little bit, but you can see there's one of the small newts there. Now the newts are part of this problem. Now this stuff is called Spirogyra or blanket weed. Now most people's ponds will grow it at some time or other, and you can see it looks like green cotton wool. It's really thick and very ugly, and it comes out in big sheets. There's nothing harmful about it at all. It's actually an algae, and it's a very simple plant, and it grows in long strands, and it looks quite good under the microscope because it's well, they're very easy to see the plant cells, so it's great for learning about how plants grow and everything. But it traps air and forms these big rafts. Now we were going to take it all out, and the best way to take it all out is just to pull it out, and then you leave it sitting on top of one of the rocks nearby until it dries up. And when it dries up, it's great for compost. You can put it under the trees or anything, and it'll do good for the garden soil, because how it grows is it ties up the nitrates that are actually in the water. So that's produced by fish, by newts, by anything, and it uses it up like you would any other fertilizer, and the plant grows like mad. And so it actually locks it away from the water, where the nitrates are actually quite poisonous. And while you've got Spirogyra, blanket weed, you don't have green water because it uses all the nutrients and there's none left. However, we tried taking it out the other day and we found something we didn't like. There was all the baby newts. They're all snuggled into this stuff because it's nice and protects them from the diving beetles and everything that might munch them away. And they're all wriggling around, dying and looking very unhappy. So we decided to keep the blanket weed for another few months and keep the baby newts until they're ready to leave the water. Because the baby newts, well, they'll actually do something really good. The baby newts eat all the slugs and some of the nastier creepy crawlers that exist within the pond. So here we go. The pond itself is going to keep its blanket weed. It's not a problem. If you've got a big pond, you can get a stick and stick the stick into the blanket weed and just keep on turning until the blanket weed gets all tied up like an enormous green slimy ball of candy floss, and then oik it out. But always put it on one of the stones or one of the pieces near the pond. It allows all your wildlife to crawl back into the pond. However, this time of year I didn't want to lose all the baby newts. Never mind, we can have to put up with it for a little bit longer. As you can see, I don't know whether you can see, the water itself, unfortunately the reflections are not doing any favours to this, and no, the water itself is really clean, and that is because the blanket weed is absorbing all the nitrates in the water and keeping it clean and keeping my pond fresh and healthy. So if I didn't have the blanket weed, or put in one of them nasty chemicals that actually destroyed blanket weed, then I would have other problems building up elsewhere. At the minute, that's my only problem. So anyway, a bit about blanket weed and algae, full of fertiliser by the way, so if you do put it on your garden, you're actually doing some good to your plants. Anyway, a quick long shot at the pond, how it's growing this time of year. The white flower, by the way, is the Zanzidacia, and it's a white lily-like flower. So I think it's my daughter's plant. She bought it at a car boot sale, so it's always great to pick up plants that car boot sells. And one more plant I wanted to show you. Here we go. This is one of the aeoniums. This is a giant aeonium. This one is about the size of a beach ball now, and it's probably a good sort of coming on to 50 centimeters across. It'll do this in a year. You have to keep it inside in the winter, and this is what it looks like when it flowers, and that's in full flower. Typical flower, the crasulaceae, smelling slightly of cat pee, but different all the same. So once it flowers, it's a terminal flower. If you could see, the plant itself has almost gone to nothing. You may get one or two cuttings from it to start next year, but what I'm really looking for is when you can see all these seed pods. And crassulas grow quite well from seed. So there you go. Not exactly beautiful, but I love them when they're in the big rosettes. By the way, these rosettes now, these will be taken off at the end of the year, and I'll cut them all off and they'll go in seed trays, and they'll probably be, I don't know, on sale through the school next year, because there's loads of them and it's such a wonderful plant. Anyway, that's it for today.
We've got to take these